Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Talking Town on Sunday. It is your flagship podcast. We're here to discuss the Ipswich Town 2, Norwich City 2 match. Get your comments in, get active in the live chat. I've just asked you what you're thinking, what you're feeling. That was, of course, our 3-word reviews and our GIF reactions. I absolutely love reading through those on a Sunday morning. Some really funny ones, some interesting ones as well. I'm not going to lie. I thought personally Wolfie played fairly well. So we're just going to see what you felt and, of course, what our guests felt in the studio. Hit the like button. And if you're watching on catch up, you know what to do. FTA, comment for the algorithm. I don't care what you put in it, to be fair. Just comment for the algorithm. As so many of you do. I do enjoy watching a FTA or just an A, really, in the comment section. Feels like we're sort of cheating YouTube a little bit, doesn't it? Like we're sort of circumnavigating the system. Rebels, they could call us. Afternoon, everyone. What a derby yesterday. Show been playing them for a very, very long time after that. Andrew, hello, everyone. Have we all calmed down after yesterday? Rumour has it, and I'd have to stress it is just a rumour. Mike, the Fisherman Brown, still seething. Still seething. Andrew Laws, hello, everyone. Have we all calmed down after yesterday? Matt Stannard, gutted. Ashton didn't want the flare I offered him. I'd have paid good money to see Mark Ashton at the front there waving the flares. That I really would have done. Ben Moore, hope you're well, Ben. Look, we're thinking of you, my friend. Yes, that was a ridiculous but emotional day. Delia wouldn't shut up all game and said that they should have won. Nearly chopped my hot chocolate over when West scored. Ben, come on, behave yourself. Adam, good afternoon. I was so emotionally drawn after the game yesterday. I fell asleep for 5 hours. Yeah, there we go. Right, like, subscribe. Let's get kicking off. We'll bring in the boys first. Rich, Matt, welcome in. How you doing?
All good. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Ben, get in there into his box.
I've got to thank you to the man below me for this wonderful Christmas present.
Very nice.
Obviously, Matt knows my taste, and Matt knows that he was one of my favourite players when I was growing up. So I really appreciate that, Matt. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Could have done with it yesterday.
Certainly could have done. I got some. I got one, sorry, as well. It was very nice. I'm not wearing it now, evidently.
What did you get? What did you get?
I got a Chicago Bears t-shirt from Matt Pierce, aka Fanatics, and I think it's the best thing since sliced bread. I've worn it. I'm gonna wear it this evening.
It's good way to start for the NFL.
It's a beautiful present. Oh, it's a beautiful present.
Just a couple of things before we start. Like, I'll just Ben put the comment in there in the chat. Just say, look, Ben's obviously going through a tough time, like a lot of people know. But just the football club yesterday, what they done for Ben. If you've all seen, he obviously put some pictures and the video on the Discord, which you can join. Gov will tell you the details, but on his Facebook, and it's such. We got such genuine people at the football club now, guys. And you see, I think when Connor comes in and greets Ben, and he's obviously had Wes and Connor went and visited him in hospital.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. And also, I know, look, football is so important to a lot of people, but if you look what happened yesterday to Tom Lockyer of Luton, second time, I'm driving home, listening on the radio, Matt and Martin, I feared the worst then when they were saying he's gone down 15 minutes. He's obviously had a cardiac arrest. He's in, I think, Bournemouth Hospital. And look, massive hats off to all the medical staff at Bournemouth and the fans of both teams. And it puts things into perspective when it's only a game of football and we all want to win. But driving home yesterday, I thought of that and I thought of Ben. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Ben's video and pictures are just great. I saw him on the Discord and all the players coming in and high-fiving him and having photos. Fantastic.
A great picture with Delia sitting behind him.
Yes. That was tremendous.
I thought that. Yeah. So you were driving home, were you, Rich?
Yeah.
What for Christmas or just
oh, come on, man. You can do better than that.
Oh, come on. That's a good...
Gags.
I am the dad of the group.
Not a strong point of yours, are they? The gags?
As I'm often accused, I am the dad of the group. Cheers, Dad. Thanks, Dad. Yes, you can become a fifth stander, aka a TT follower, and get access to the Discord. Just hit the join button on YouTube or head to Ko-Fi, $4.99. Cancel at any point. You get access for the month you signed up for, and you get all sorts on there, more than I can comprehend, which is why I don't often put my head round the door. When I do,
apparently we're what are we, Matt? Are we
moderators?
Moderators.
Two
admins and moderators.
Yeah, you're in charge effectively, which tells you the level of anarchy in that Discord. If these two are in charge, I'm very much hands off.
It's about time we got authority. I'm pleased with this bit.
It is. Joseph, the sad thing about it is the thing I'm so used to, never expect, think we're going to win when we play them, only ever used to losses or a lucky draw. We'll come on to it in just a moment. But we are joined, of course. The group is complete again. Because we are joined by somebody rich. I don't know, Rich. You've hooked it up. You've engineered this. So come on.
I see on the Twitter. I think it was Twitter. It was X, as everyone calls it. It's Twitter as well as I'm concerned.
Twitter.
Ipswich Town have now got a Singapore supporters club. Now,
I heard about this.
If you are long-time watchers of TT, back in the COVID days, we had this very special person who joined us as a regular on Sundays. And I thought I'll send her a message. See if she's got time to come on. Look, busy mum, but yeah, I think it's wonderful that we've got the four of us back together and welcome. Gov, have you not got the music teed up?
I haven't got the music, but I think we need to, this is an award. I'm sure if she has it, she's probably award-winning journalist. This is, Sky Sports Hall of Famer, right?
CNN in the States.
CNN.
What's she doing with us? What's going on?
She's hit the Premier League.
Wonder why she's hooked up with us three.
She's hit the Premier League. She's done the BBC Radio Suffolk this week, and now she's on Talking Town. Is of course Kate Riley. Kate, welcome to the big time.
Hi, Kate.
Oh, thank you so much for having me back. Shame I didn't bring you 3 points. No, we'll get to that. Well, why I'm bad news for Ipswich Town this season. So I'm staying under the radar.
Yeah, we were talking about that backstage, and you've not seen the most successful of games this year. I mean, there's been lots of them to see, but obviously you were here for Leeds, and that
lost.
That didn't go quite as well. But you were here for Millwall, not technically in the stadium, but you were in the area.
That is true. Yes, just down the road. So too cold for me to attend, really. But just a few miles away from the ground at that time.
So tell us about the Singapore Supporters Club, Kate, and what it is, how you get involved with it, and
so randomly this week, a guy called Mark who lives out here. He's been out here 10 years. He's a couple years older than me, and he went to Ipswich Boys School. He reached out to me on LinkedIn saying, I see you're from Ipswich and you cover town. Would you like, do you know any other Town fans?
Did he not know who you were, Kate? Did he not know that you are the award-winning Kate Riley?
No, but that's...
Oh, come on.
Did you not say? Do you not know who I am?
No.
Do you not know who I am?
And I would never do that. And so anyway, he reached out to me on LinkedIn, and I thought, gosh, there must be more than just the two of us, even though sometimes it feels like, you know, you're the only one, or maybe you're the only one that supports like a championship club. And definitely last season it felt like I was the only one that supported a League One club out here. So then I thought, come on, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So put a plea out on Twitter. That kind of went a bit crazy. I've been like a long time lurker on Those Were the Days for like well over a decade, maybe even 2 decades. But I actually registered an account this week and put up a plea to anyone that knew anyone in Singapore, come along and to this watch party. And then before you know it, we had like 18 people turn up, and we had 2 Norwich fans come along, and but they were very nice. To their credit, they were very nice, and they weren't all gloaty, so that was all good. Yeah, so if anyone's watching and you're traveling through Singapore, we've established a nice relationship with the Penny Black pub on Boat Quay, and they're willing to show our games. Yeah, we had 18 last night, and every time we're on Sky, they're gonna show our games. So
brilliant.
Yeah, we're always on Sky. We're always on Sky, Kate.
Yeah. That's what's so great about now following a team that's winning all the time. And so the next one will be Leeds. Several of us will be either back in the UK or traveling for Christmas, but there's still a group here. So we're expecting about sort of 8 or 10 people to turn up for the Leeds game. Can't believe it. 8:30. So it's perfect. So we everyone can have dinner with their family, and it's really like family. What's great about sort of Suffolk people is like there's kind of no attitude, and you can just sort of be yourself, and it's very family friendly. And that was sort of my takeaway from last night. And people did bring their older children along with them, and it was just really wonderful. So the next one's going to be Saturday, and if you know anyone that's coming, get the word out, tell them they're very welcome to come along.
Do you know Marvin on the screen here, Kate? Look, I am in Singapore.
Marvin Lee.
Marvin. All right. Marvin, I don't know how we can follow each other, but we've got a WhatsApp group going on. So Marvin, I don't know. How
Instagram.
Do we get
DM on
Facebook? Facebook is you've got a Facebook page, haven't you, Kate?
Facebook?
Yes. Yeah. Marvin, you can message the Facebook page. I think it's called Ipswich Town Supporters Singapore.
I'm going to join it as well.
Yeah, or you can message me. You see my Twitter there. You can message me on Twitter, and then we can private message, and we can get you on the WhatsApp group. That's amazing, Marvin.
Presumably, Kate, one of the criteria is you have to be a Talking Town subscriber to
definitely. Yeah.
Otherwise, you're out.
The two go hand in hand. So
yeah, of course.
Anyway, thanks for supporting us. Like, I can't believe it. Like, people were coming up last night saying, I don't have Twitter, but like my mate heard you on Radio Suffolk this week talking about the meetup, and said that I should come along and meet you guys. And it's like, wow. Okay.
There we go. So let's see how, hopefully it will go from strength to strength. And it sounds like it's already got a good foundation in place. So well done. It's a huge credit to yourself.
You know what it's you know what it's like firsthand, like trying to build a following. Like
we had 20 people, Kate, watching our first show.
Then
second show, because the first one I didn't actually put public. We recorded it privately and wondered why no one was watching it. So technically the second show, but it's all relative. Talking of relative, yesterday, let's sort of jump. Well, yesterday to the derby. It's been a big weekend, as you can tell. I don't know where I am or what I'm doing. We'll start with the coach welcome. A lot of sort of conflicting opinions I can see on social media in terms of, is it the right thing, the wrong thing? Is it too big? Was it massive? Rich, you were in the middle of it. You and your flares, you were giving it large. What are your thoughts on it?
Look, well, obviously the players wanted it, Gov, because I think you see when they had the there was a thing that Town TV done with Wes, and I think it was Sam Morsey, when they played 100 games, and they got talking about that, obviously the Exeter game and sort of what they done that game. So the players wanted it, right? there's only one problem, like when you don't win, and then that lot, it's their cup final, this, that, and the other. I thought it was brilliant. The turnout. It's a bit overwhelming, isn't it? All that smoke and
I had to leave.
Blimey, it for certain people, it would be a bit overwhelming. The only problem I've got is after the coach comes in. Now, I don't know who arranged it. Are the police to blame? I don't know, Matt and Kate and Martin. Delia Smith comes in a car. Now, Delia Smith is 80 years of age, right?
Yeah.
Some of the behaviour of Town Fans was a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
Total disgrace.
She is... Look, we all know we sing songs about her and we don't like their fans, but you have to conduct yourself in the right way, and I think some people there have gone too far. But I'd like to know, Martin, whose idea that was to have her following the coach in.
Well, yeah, we'll probably never know that information, and it seems to be a big faux pas, Matt, in terms of planning. And you would have thought the club would have told the away section of the board, the members of the boardroom, this is what's happening. You need to avoid arriving at certain times. But that said, this is Ipswich Town Football Club, the club of football royalty, Hall of Famers, gentlemen. We conduct ourselves in a way like that off the field. On the pitch, I'm all for making it a cauldron, but off the field, that isn't who we are, is it? Yeah,
no. She's actually 82. I just looked it up. She's actually 82. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, look, I think the smoke and the crowd presence when the coach arrives, I think it's brilliant. You see this a lot in Europe, so I think it's fantastic. I love it. But exactly as Rich says, you've got to conduct yourself a little bit. I mean, look, there's a lot of kids in here who think they're hard men. Ultras. I mean, if you go into continental Europe, you'll meet proper ultras. These kids aren't. And, the fact that the coach arrived with police outriders, I find it hard to believe that they didn't just say, the Delia Smith car is behind. Just hold back until the crowds have gone and then bring them in. But to do that to, an 82-year-old, regardless of who you support, regardless of colours, I just thought it was terrible. But is it Blue Action who organised the thing? I think that's brilliant. I absolutely love it. It feels, you've got your club back and we're going places. You ain't getting this when we're playing, as I keep saying, bloody Accrington, Stanley, whoever it may be.
Who are they?
So, it feels like we're going places. So it's brilliant. But conduct yourself like Ipswich Town fans. I often think to myself, people conduct themselves. They weren't around for the Bobby Robson era. And he is the standard to which Ipswich Town fans should be, I think. And he would have thought that was a disgrace. I'm sure.
Yeah, and obviously, Kate, then we jumped inside the stadium and we have this fantastic tifo display. We have the fireworks, well, not the fireworks, but the flames shooting up to show it's a big game in the season.
It was a bit American, wasn't it?
Yes, that's where I was heading with it. What were your thoughts on it? What were your thoughts on it? Because obviously you were at home or in the pub watching on the television. So how did it come across on the television? And what were your thoughts when you saw the display, etc.?
Yeah, okay. So we didn't see any of the flair stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we were too busy talking to be on social and things like that. So it was only until afterwards realized all of that had happened. We were really lucky because we had the perfect commentary for it. So we didn't have radio commentary, even though that's amazing when you listen to the radio. We had native speakers and people that understand the game doing the commentary. So we had the global feed and that was really good. And you could just hear them commenting on what an amazing atmosphere, how loud it was, what an occasion it was. So that I felt that did really translate to us, even though we were in a pub and, miles away. So.
And did you see was the banner displayed on the television? I've not seen any of it back this season.
No, I didn't see the banner. Only when I saw the highlights earlier on.
Kate was at the bar getting a few shots in before.
Yes, Jaeger bombs.
I wasn't even drinking. Excuse me. It's I had a sober night out, actually, for the record. Yeah. So didn't really see that until I saw the YouTube highlights earlier.
I do love the pyrotechnics, to be fair, Matt. It really does. I want the light show. Can we get our floodlights to be disco techning light show. I'm all for that.
They do that at Spurs, don't they? They do that at Spurs. Well, you said, Rich, you had a good example when we went to Barrow the other week.
Yeah,
last week,
they've done it at Barrow. It was good. And I said they put that montage up on their screen of all the old goals. And yeah, I like that. Look, yeah, football's changing how we, like, when you go to a game now. And it's all part of the day, business. Isn't it?
It is a business, whether you want to, admit it or not. It is still a community asset, but a lot of times it's a business. They're charging good money, and you have to give that experience event service, if you like. And obviously, then we jump.
Entertainment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That is the name of the game. You can imagine Mark Ashton, that Sunderland Netflix documentary. What gets the people pumping? Like that's a Mark Ashton scene if ever I saw one.
Let me tell you, if this journey keeps continuing to the Premier League, I think we will be subject to a documentary. How could you not be?
Especially with the Ed Sheeran link.
With the Sheeran link and all sorts. Yeah, absolutely, Kate. Yeah.
Kate Roddy narration.
Oh wow.
I don't see that. I don't see that with Kieran. I don't think he want a bar of that. I just think he likes to go under the radar. I don't think it needs to be cameras.
Don't have to be a dressing room thing, but certainly some kind of story, maybe. I can see happening. But we'll see. We'll see. The world's our oyster, I feel, at the moment.
Andy says, new subscriber. I've lived in Norfolk for 12 years. I'm so looking forward to Town winning. At least we never got beat. All my Norwich workmates have been giving it to me big time. Come on, you Blues, forever. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the family, Andy. I have mixed views about the welcome the coach. I said to the fisherman before the game, this could backfire, as did you, really, Rich, if the result does not go our way. I could not see the coach because of the thick smoke. It was pretty intense being in the middle of it. I had to get out. That's before you got your 4 flares out, Rich, and started
5
waving it. Sorry, I've miscounted.
Rich got covered in sort of blue residue and burnt his coat.
I don't know if Kev's going to be on from South Coast Tractor Boys, but he had a great one yesterday, didn't he? I'm going to tell the story. He can tell it. He's walking down from the station, and past the station hotel, obviously where the Norwich fans are, and a flare just happens to slip out of his hand and into the Norwich fans, and he got pulled over the coals by the local constabulary. They took his name, they took his address. No more trouble from Kev.
I saw that.
I said to him, at least, look, at least you were pretty well. Like, no one's going to know what you look like. You've got your big blue Ipswich jumper on. I mean, come on, Kev. What are you doing?
It's not becoming of an association member.
Really. I think it slipped out of his hands. I'm sure it just slipped out of his hands.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look. He's looking for water, Gov. It says on the back of it, if you put this in water, he was aiming for the. Yeah, he was.
Exactly. He was like, being community spirited. I'll get rid of this right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we jump to the first half, where for all the talk of the coach arrival, backfiring, etc., if they do their job, this is another Exeter game for me, Kate, where you're 3-4 nil up at half time, and everyone's saying we need a coach every week because clearly the players respond to it. And it really was one-way traffic in that first half, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I don't know. Can I say my 3 words?
Yeah, absolutely.
My 3 words, I guess, is like, what a shame. Because, I felt like we were so nervous. Because, I was saying to Rich before we got on, any other game, all those chances would have been goals. I don't know. I heard the Radio Suffolk report, and obviously, they're there, they're the experts, and I'm not there. And they said it was 10 out of 10, first half performance. And I guess it was, except for those chances didn't go in. So it was very frustrating. I'm trying not to feel like yesterday was a defeat, although it kind of feels to me it is. What a shame would be my three words.
And I think you're spot on the money there while Rich answers his front door. I'll come to you, Matt, while Rich answers the front door. Nathan Broadhead, I said to Rich in the pre-game show, Broadhead's going to be a huge player in this game. So, if you feature around him. And it did. And Nathan Broadhead really should be celebrating a match ball this afternoon.
Oh, God, yeah. Again, I think was it Coventry where he was through?
Yep.
Similar chance and stuck that wide. I was off my feet yesterday, Kate, and I was celebrating. I'm waiting for the ball to hit the back of the net. But listen, at least with these kind of players, your Chaplins, your Broadheads, Wes Burns, big game players are going to get are going to get the moments and create the space against inferior opposition. And that's I said, Kate, it would be in the week. It would be a shellacking, and it was. It just didn't show up on the goal tally, unfortunately. But any other day, it would have done. But it is what it is. And I still don't get people saying, There's no form in derby games. Look, Norwich, I think they were doing all right in the form table. They've come off the back of beating a resurgent Sheffield Wednesday. They weren't going in there on the back of a run of defeats or anything. But, you know, it's a fair play to them. They contained us quite well, rode their luck. Scored 2 goals that were probably offside if we had VAR. It is what it is, though, isn't it? We'll just have to suck it up. 2-2.
This is it. It is what it is. But it's a big game. And I said to you this morning in the WhatsApp group, Rich, that this group sort of, it's one thing doing it against Exeter with promotion on the line, coach rival, big game per se. But this is probably the biggest atmosphere, if not the biggest emotional game that they've probably featured in this year. And every single player showed me that they're not going to shy away in those big moments. If tomorrow a playoff final had to happen, we've got a group of characters now for the first time in decades where no one shies, no one hides. They're in it together, but they stick to the game plan and they play up to the big moments and they don't hide from it.
Yeah, I thought first off we were excellent, and if we'd have gone in 3-0 up, I don't think anyone could have grumbled. They hadn't laid a glove on us, and it is, Martin. You know what football's like. We've all watched enough games over the years. Football's about goals, you know. And the Broadhead's chance, he does everything right there. Sits the defender down. He has a lot of the goal to aim at. To be fair to him, and he just pulls it wide. The second chance he has, I think he's a little bit unlucky, Matt. I've watched that back this morning. It's sort of stuck under his feet, and he tries to dig it out. Doesn't quite curl it.
Yeah.
Wes is a great chance. I think if he'd have had that chance back, that's where a little bit what Kate said about emotion, and I think that's adrenaline, that one. He's just tried to smash it when a little bit of calmness, and I think he passes it into the net. But if we'd have gone in...
Matthew told us, Rich. What did Alex Matthew tell us? He said it. Pass it into the net.
It's when you have them chances, like Alex said. If you haven't watched it, anyone, we had Alex on Friday night. I got a really lovely message from his son, Connor. Last night, he said that my dad does go off on a lot of tangents. I said we love that on there because that's what we're like. But
this is what we do. It's part and parcel.
Wes has got a lot of time to think, and them chances when they're instinctive and you don't have a thought, I think they're easier than, like Alex said, didn't he, Matt? That when you've got time to think about it. But I think that game changes if we go in at halftime winning that game. I think we win the game. I think goals change games. And look, we can all bemoan. Look, it should have been offside. He's laying in the penalty area. Rowe,
was blatantly offside.
But the officials have not seen it. It's a good finish for me. Like when he comes back in, he does really well. But we've once again, and I've said this several times, we can't keep conceding 2 goals in home games and expect every time to win them games 3-2, 4-2, whatever. We've had it's goals galore down at Portman Road, but this is where. We're 22 games into the season and we're doing excellent. And this is not me being critical, but to get where we want to be, which is the Premier League, I think we need to sharpen up a little bit defensively. Norwich had hardly any chances yesterday and they scored 2 goals. Now, we really should have been coming out of that game with a 2 or 3-0 win, clean sheet, but we haven't. And we do quite well, Gov, with the initial ball into the box. Then we just switch off. On that second ball when it comes in, and it's lucky because it rebounds off Wolfie and it falls for him, but you just got to be a little bit better in them moments, and I think that's probably cost us yesterday. And I think we need to sharpen up with the next 2 games we got Leeds away, who've probably got, in my money, probably the best front four in the division, maybe other than Town because we've got an excellent front four, and then you've got Leicester. Now we'll probably come on to it. People a bit critical of Wolfie yesterday. I didn't think he had a bad game, but for me, I think Axel comes in for Leeds. If I'm being honest, and the fisherman's on about changing the goalkeeper. I don't honestly get that whatsoever, because I think Alaki will get onto the second goal. I think he's a bit unlucky there, really. If I'm being honest. What reason
would Mike change the keeper?
Well, Mike thinks that Alaki should have saved the second goal. I've watched it back several times. I don't think he has a lot of chance where it comes through that ruck of players, and we'll probably come on to that. But yeah, first off, I thought it was an excellent performance, and we spoke off air, didn't we, Kate, about all the emotion of the derby. I thought we handled it pretty well, if I'm being honest. And you just got to take your chances.
Just for us, you know, it's just like the first time in like so long. Like, finally, we're actually better than them, and we all know it.
But it's the journey, right? You know, we were talking yesterday about closing the book on what we call Banter FC, and this was the last sort of skeleton in the closet to get rid of. And we didn't do it. We didn't win. Norwich will today and tomorrow and forevermore say 14 years, then 15 years, like it's a badge of honour that they didn't beat a team that was mothballed for 15 years. Or they did. Sorry, they did beat a team that was mothballed.
What's the bigger achievement? Winning the Mr. Clutch Cup with Mike Bassett, their most famous manager, or the 14 years?
Well, there you go.
That's a feature on their programme, no doubt.
But yesterday was a big moment, despite the result in terms of winning or losing, wasn't it? Okay, because it showed that 2 years ago, when Town was sitting in 9th, they were in the Premier League. But yet 2 years later, 2 years to the day McKenna is appointed, that tide is turning, has turned, and Ipswich Town are once again back on top. Might not have won the game, but the tide has turned, right?
Yeah, and like, in case anyone needs cheering up today, like looking at that table, I mean, yeah, we're halfway through the season and it's just dreamland, isn't it? And I don't know, it feels very surreal because I remember when I was reporting on Norwich day in, day out, and I was like, it's very envious and like a bit sort of like, I don't know, not starstruck, that's not the right word, but I just couldn't believe that they'd done back-to-back promotions. I'd never, in like my research, kind of come across a team like that. And I was like, wow, these guys, they're invincible. Oh, but I feel kind of disgusting saying that because I'm a Town fan deep down. But to think that actually will be, we have the potential to do the double promotion is just quite amazing, really. So, they had plenty to prove yesterday. We don't have anything to prove. And just McKenna, don't change anything. It's working.
Yeah, it really is. And obviously 2 years to the day, Matt. The anniversary was 2 years yesterday. And it just showed for me. Rich will say what he says about the celebrations at the end. That's fine. That's Rich's opinion. I disagree with it. But it showed the roar as if they just won the FA Cup. Or it was a Sunday League team gaining a replay against Man City in the FA Cup. That roar showed to me.
Oh yeah.
That's the fan base rattled.
Speaks volumes. They'd obviously watched the show. They were fearing the shellacking as well. Like I say, they got it as well without it unfortunately translating to goals. But yeah, absolutely, you can see that the tide has shifted. But I would happily drop points to them in order to get points off Leeds and Leicester in the next two games. Far bigger matches. I don't care, Old Farm Derby, emotional investment, whatever. We're in a promotion race. We're in a title race, in actual fact. So to take points off the two teams that we sit between is far more important to me than Norwich. They're 21 points behind us. They ain't finishing above us this season. So I'd happily drop points to them to take those off that are trying to chase us down and try and pip us to the title. Because that's the race we're actually in. Our season ain't, as I said yesterday, our season ain't defined by 2 games against Norwich City this season. Them days are gone. Them days are gone, everybody.
Yeah,
bigger
absolutely.
fish to fry. And the bigger fish are coming up.
Yeah, huge fish on Boxing Day particularly. And some great comments coming in. I'll try and get to them as soon as I can. Keep your opinions flying in. But I said to you before we started, Rich, about Kieran McKenna and how I didn't know I could love him more than I already did. But that interview, you can always count the subtle digs. Someone needs to put a little count box with a ding, ding. Because he mentions the 21 points. He mentions the local rivals in just geographical sense and things like that. Just little remember your place digs for me.
Kieran knows, doesn't he? He knows where we are in the pecking order, and he knows where they are in the pecking order, and he knows. He's probably waking up this morning. He's disappointed, but he's calm enough to know that, like Matt says there, it is one game, and I know we all get hyped up, and like yesterday at the end there, everyone's full of emotion because we haven't won that game. And it is an emotional roller coaster. You've only got to be in that stadium to hear the atmosphere, even half an hour before the kickoff, Gov, when all the songs are on and everyone's amped up times 10. But then when you look at it, 24 hours just over, we're sitting here today, you have to, that emotion's gone. And it's like Kate said before the show, if that's a draw against anyone else, we just move on. You just think, yeah, it was 2-2, we could have won the game. But you go on to the next game. It's only because it's Norwich and that we haven't beaten them for so long. This is why a lot of people are disappointed. And then you have to just look at, and I agree with Matt, look at the next 2 games we've got. They are much bigger games than Norwich. We've got Leeds Saturday, unbeaten at home. Dropped points yesterday. Look, the thing is, and I think we said it on Wednesday, Matt, about Leeds have to be almost perfect now. Like we had to be after Christmas last season. We went them 15 games at the end unbeaten, and it was only because Wednesday had that meltdown that we got second. But Leeds can't afford to drop points against teams like Coventry at home, especially when we've played before. We're disappointed with the point, but we sit here today. Leeds are no better off, and we've had a 7-point week. This is the thing we need to look at. We've had a 7-point week. They've had a 4-point week. We've gained 3 points on them.
Yep.
You've only got to flip the results around a little bit, wouldn't you? The 3 points against Borough, everyone's ecstatic, right? Say I'd have taken a point, Kate, on Tuesday night at Watford because we was under the cosh.
And I'd say, and in history, like you would say, Watford away, that's like a bogey.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
Like I've done that as a fan. I've done that as a reporter, like in the Magilton years. Like, like you're never going to get anything from Vicarage Road, are you? Yeah,
it used to be a right nightmare. So say we'd drawn that game and then we win yesterday. You've still got the same points return over 3 games. You just flipped 2 results around. So it's actually been a fantastic week. I mean, of course, like I say, you got the shadow of the old farm derby across everything. But forget that. Like I say, we're in a title race at the moment.
And that's probably a little bit, Matt, where we were probably a bit lucky on Tuesday to get that win. If I'm being 100% honest.
Control the game.
I think we were. I think that was just going towards a 1-1 draw. But,
it was, which I'd have gladly taken.
Yeah, exactly. So yesterday, did we have the luck? No, we didn't. You know, if you look over the game, Norwich probably had the rub of the green, pardon the pun. They did, didn't they? And then there's decisions. I know Martin's not too happy with the ref. I thought the ref yesterday, I thought he had a very good game.
How's he not fought Barnes on about 10 years late challenge?
Because that's one of them ones. It's early in the game. If that's later on in the game, he'll book him. But there's Harry Clark should have had a yellow. Harry Clark should have had a yellow card just after the goal down in front of where you sit, Matt. He's the altercation. He grabs matey by the shirt. He should have got a yellow there. So I spoke to Wes's dad this morning, and he said Wes thinks he's one of the best refs. He likes him, and he thought he had a good game. He thought he had a good game. So, and I think it was one of them games where you've seen derbies before where referees are really card happy. They set the stall out early, book the first foul, and then they have to continue from there. And you see countless yellow cards. Whereas yesterday, he probably was. I do agree with you. He probably was a little bit lenient. And there was a couple of times where he's played advantage for us, and it's not really worked. And then people are saying, "Oh, why have you played advantage there?" If it works for us and we go on and we have a chance to maybe score a goal, everyone's praising the referee and saying, "Yeah, that was a great bit of officiating there."
Whereas, at least bring the free kicks back if the advantage is gone within 2 seconds.
But you can't do that.
That's fine.
You've played the advantage, Matt. You can't just say, "Oh, it didn't work out," and then you're going to bring it back. It doesn't work like that.
Go back and talk to the player.
You do see that, though. You do see that.
Yeah, but you've only got a few seconds. You've literally got like 3-4 seconds. You haven't got the opportunity to wait 5 minutes.
He didn't book Morsey, so he done us a favour. To be fair,
but there was a couple of the way he could have been booked.
No, I don't see that. I don't see that. But their left back, who completely wiped out Wes Burns.
Oh, he was.
And he waved play on. I was expecting him to go back to the left back and book him. It was so late.
But then Hurst has dumped him in the stand early on, so you can't have it one way.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, but there you go. You can't have it. You got to look at. I look at a game. I look at it from both angles. I just think
I didn't see that.
You can't always say, "Oh yeah, he should have booked their player." When I thought their left back, Sam McCullum, he's not played a lot this season.
No,
I thought he was one of their best players. I thought first half he really struggled. Second half, I thought he played really well. And we'll probably talk about when we made the subs because I want to talk about what we've got off the bench. And Martin does as well. I know that.
The referee, though, Martin's only as good as his linesman. I mean, what for the first goal? What's the linesman looking at? What's he thinking of? His Christmas card list? His Christmas wrapping? Miles off.
He's thinking about mince pies. And
even the second goal, guys. If you look at the second goal, Ashley Barnes, and I know, like Mike was saying about Alaki should have saved it. He's in his line of vision. He's offside, and he's standing 100%. About 3 yards away from him, and he can see him out of the corner of his eye. So if we got VAR, and we'll have it next year, not if we are in the Premier League, when we're in the Premier League, them goals will be chalked off.
Yeah.
You see, my boys can never make a foul. They're all far too nice. So I don't buy into this. He's missed some for Town because my boys are far too nice. They don't make tackles like that.
Gov wanted a penalty, Kate. Gov wanted a penalty first off
for a free kick. That's how desperate I was to win. It's a free kick, but I'm claiming for a penalty.
What's Rich drinking there? What you got there?
It's not what you think it is.
No, it's probably a Before we go any further, we are partnered up with Stone Market Osteopaths. I'll be heading there this week after this weekend. It's been a hellacious weekend. I'll be needing it. Head to Freddie if you got any issues with your mobility, aches, pains, need some physiotherapy. Stowmarket Osteopaths 01449 613 633.
George Long as well. My mate George Long. I know you didn't play yesterday, George. You're on the bench. You're sitting on the bench. You've probably got a bad back. And I'll tell you another thing. That Onel Hernandez, what a twat you are. He is an absolute muppet. I don't know if you've seen him, Kate. He's on TikTok. He does all these TikToks.
Yeah.
He's gone running along in front of us. Yeah, I give him a right earful. He was, what a knob.
On and off the pitch.
Oh, my Lord. Yes.
If he played like he TikToked, he'd be a decent player.
Yeah.
He would.
He was winding the crowd up when he was warming up.
Yes, he was.
Cringe.
Right in front of
But
us.
Liam Gibbs got some stick, didn't he?
Wow.
Have you made the change, Kate, from Ipswich Academy into Norwich? And
I don't know.
yeah.
I'm up for that. Players winding fans up, when they're warming up. I'm here for that. Like Jane Curtin's green hair. Yeah, I'm here for that.
You were like that, I bet you, when you were on the line on the Sunday mornings, wasn't it? That's why you always got in trouble with the refs.
Yep. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
chewy,
you
doesn't
would have liked me.
Everyone thinks Gov's nice, Kate.
he calls me chewy. He's chewier than
me.
me. He's chewier than me, the Gov.
And this is a man who goes to church. This is a man who goes to church on a Sunday as well.
Yeah.
Tell you what, you put me in a game, right? I remember when I first met my wife. There was this game called the dance game on the mat. What was that?
Oh, is that
called?
where you put the hands and all that down?
Yeah, we played once, and we've never played again since because I was too competitive.
Did you cheat?
Oh, wow.
I bet you cheated.
I want to win at everything. Literally, Kate.
Disgraceful.
I want to win at every single
Church goer, huge figure in the Budgerigar community.
That doesn't matter, mate. Nothing matters. You put me in a game, and there's a winner and a loser. I want to make sure I'm the winner. I'm just.
Does Kate know there's a difference between budgies and canaries? Martin was getting a bit riled about this in the week. It's like comparing two different dogs. I just thought they like the same thing.
No, we used to be canary owners
Did
in the
you?
80s. They're very different.
Yes.
There you go. You want to start a canaries budgies / thing in Singapore?
No, don't even start. Don't even
that
start
going.
that.
No, that'd be great.
AK Riley posts on Twitter if you want to get involved in the budgie community.
So the linesman by the tunnel kept looking at the red ref before he made some of the decisions. Ipswich Jules, North Stand singing your dad's not proud of you, so we'll give us a warm up. Ben Moore, both Wes and Chapman after the game was complimented the ref. The first one in the first half was a free kick for me. Penalty all day long, Ben.
I'll tell you what Ben says.
Scarlett. Yeah, okay. I've got a question for you off the back of Joe S's comments. Scarlett and the Dapo to go, really adding nothing to the team, not good enough for where we want to be. If we're not leading by 60, her shattered. We have nothing to replace. Now, I've read a couple of things. So I think I've read an Athletic article that said they don't expect Town to be very active in the transfer market. Then there's some stuff coming out today on social media that like Town are willing to pay up to 3 million and 15 grand a week on wages for a striker. What do you expect Town to be doing? Obviously, having followed football for a long time, the position they're in, what would you be expecting Town to be doing come Jan 1st?
They don't want to spend a lot of money. They want to go somewhere in the middle, don't they? They don't want to spend a lot of money because it might be a bit of a gamble and it might not work out. And then they'll have all this money, TV money, when they go up to the Premier League, and they'll want to spend that wisely, right? And so they're in a difficult position because you want a championship. Obviously we're sort of playing the championship. We want a good championship level player, but are they going to cut it when we go up? So it's really hard. And I don't know if we can afford like a Prem player, if you see what I mean. Yeah.
Because obviously in January you're paying that extra sort of tax, aren't you, on the fact that it's January and it's like Christmas Eve, Christmas shopping.
Tax, you call it, Martin.
Yeah, but it's like shopping at Christmas Eve, isn't it, Kate? Where you go out last minute and there's either nothing there or everything's twice the price almost.
I don't know. Do we do really much business in the January transfer? I don't know.
No,
not under the Evans era. We did obviously this January,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, historically. No, you're right. I think I agree with you.
Have you ever been shopping at garages on Christmas Eve, Gov, for presents?
Yeah, I might be doing that this year as well. I've just realised
Put noodles in. Get the pot noodles in.
I just realised it's the 17th of December and Christmas is literally a week tomorrow.
Unbelievable.
Amazon's going to be busy this week delivering lots of things for lots of people.
I kind of disagree with the earlier comment. I mean, if you watch the Alex Maffey interview, he really likes Ladapo and rated him above Hurst when he was comparing the two, I think, earlier in the season, maybe. And he thinks we're going to sign Scarlett because of the potential factor. So, I don't know. We'll see.
That's interesting because I think Scarlett has come on. Like he's looked better or certainly livelier in recent weeks.
You can't. You're never going to impress the fans unless you score in one of those cameo roles that he's always given. He's not given enough minutes.
He turned their right back inside out, to be fair to him.
Yes. Has he even started the game yet? I don't think he has.
No.
And he won't do.
It's very difficult for him.
But he won't do because he's not there in that pecking order for me. You know, you've got Marcus Harness, the head of who's very versatile. But the subs yesterday, Rich, no impact. I mean, we said in the summer about, was there impact players from the bench? Was there the depth in strength? And to their credit, a lot of them have proved very valuable assets. But yesterday, again, it sort of showed you need a game change, you need a momentum swing. And unless Amari's really on it, do you have it from the bench?
I'd have been quite happy yesterday if we made no subs. I thought it was one of them games where, normally Kieran, he's on about 60, just over 60 minutes. He makes, and he didn't. When was the first subs yesterday, Gav? What minute were they made when Hutchinson and Harness came on?
Like 71. So
it's got to be in the 70s. So he's gone a little bit later now. I think it was hard for Amari yesterday. Look, they changed. They went 5 at the back. They were quite happy with the point. As David Burns called it, Matt, they were happy to play Hail Mary football.
Yeah, that's a good way.
They can sing their song about playing football the Norwich way. I mean, that is nothing that I always remember Norwich playing. Norwich were a good football side. Second half, lumping it forward. No man up the pitch. Happy with what they got. But coming back to the subs, and I said this to you this morning, Gov. Now, as I've seen the season go on, Harness has done some good work off the bench. Hutchinson, good off the bench. Ladapo, before Tuesday, when he came on against Watford, when he had about, 25 minutes, 30, he'd hardly featured. Scarlett's hardly featured, Matt, over the last 6 or 7 games. He's one, for me, not got great body language. His body language looks poor to me. He knows that.
I don't like
that. He knows he's a bit part player, though, Martin. He knows that he's not getting many minutes. Would it surprise me if he went back in January? No, it wouldn't. Look, Kieran's rated him. And I get that, and he's seen him when he was a young player, when he was at Spurs. And I agree with Matt there. You've got to score. If you score a goal, you get a winning goal somewhere, then fans' perspective changes about you. But at the minute, it showed in that game yesterday, and you've got the big game coming up at Leeds and the big game against Leicester. Now, Amari can come on and do something. Yesterday, he struggled, but I think that was a lot. There wasn't a lot of space.
No.
Because they shut it down. Harness has done really well. He's probably surprised quite a few people, this season with his contribution, because there was a lot of people saying when Edwards went there, Matt, why we should have kept Edwards, get rid of Harness. But he's done really well.
Harness might be one that we cut loose.
Yeah.
We thought that,
but it shows for me now that in these big moments and these big games, when you need that player to come on and change the game, I don't think Kieran trusts a Caden Jackson, a Freddie Ladapo, a Dave Scarlett. No, I don't. I don't. And that's where in January we need to be improving them options, because
but again, Rich, don't be improving the bench. Don't go into the window thinking I'm just going to improve that bench. Improve that first 11.
Yeah,
in an ideal world, as much as I love and I do love them, Wes Burns and Nathan Broadhead, I want those 2 players off the bench, because if they're off the bench, that means the first 2 playing are better, and you've gotten better, and you're getting better. If you
even a George Hurst, even a George Hurst, if you're looking at someone to come in, they have to be as good or better than what we've got already. It's no good bringing someone in just like for like, just because it's a body. For me, that's
when you stagnate for me. When you go, he's not quite as good as player A, but he can do a job, in a pinch. That's when you stagnate.
This is going to be the business end of the season, Matt, isn't it? Where. Yes. At the minute, we have got that 10-point buffer, but there might be games towards the end of the season where you're playing at home, you're 15 minutes from the end of the game, it's 0-0, and you need to win that game because you'll know that Leeds are winning or Southampton are winning, and we need to win that game. Now, is a Caden Jackson, all respect to him. I've said about him a lot of times. A lot of people thought he'd have been out the door. He's got his head down, he's worked. Is he good enough for the Championship? Personally, I don't think he is. I'm not. This is no slight on Caden. I think he goes at the end of the season, his contract's up anyway. So there might be room in January, Matt, where someone comes in and can offer Caden first-team football in the Championship. A team maybe lower down the table, maybe a Huddersfield or someone like that. But this is where, and Mark Ashton, that it will not be like 2014-15 when we had that great chance to go up. We sat on our hands and we just about fell into the playoffs on that last day of the season. This is the chance. And I've changed my mind a little bit with you, Gov, about I think we might push that boat out a little bit more, because the opportunity like this, Kate, might not come around for another 2 or 3 seasons. You don't know what happens. You're in that magnificent position to get out of this league, and it changes the landscape of your football club for a very, very long time.
You think 2 or 3 seasons? I was going to interject and say a generation. I don't know. Like,
well,
if
we've been there before.
I don't know. I feel like if it doesn't happen now, like, we're not going to repeat the magic next season.
And we know, Kate, and just on the back of that, Kate, as well, saying about spending money, we have a player who I think will go where he might even go if we go to the Premier League. Leif Davis. They know that his value is rising, so we could speculate a little bit, spend a little bit more money with that safety net of saying, right, if we don't go up, we've got Leif who we could sell for what, 20 million? And it'll cover that money that we might have outlaid in January, I think.
Yeah. I think, Kate, you were right earlier in terms of, if you go back to the top of the S, Incomehurst and Broadhead and Luongo on a free, with Lai probably on promotion, and they'll be able to cut it in the Championship. And you've got to think the same thing again. You know, whoever you bring in January is going to be long-term, hope if they're signings, long-term signings, that can hopefully bounce up to the Premier League with us, maybe in a few months' time.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe not too many people are, like, in the Prem are scouting us. Like, the stakes are too high in the Prem, so they're scouting the Prem team. So, you know, if we do go up, there's a chance that we could do very well next season because we're an unknown, much like this season, I feel, because people weren't scouting us when we were in League One, maybe.
It's a good point, that is. Yeah, that's a good point. And that might be maybe in the second half of the season where we've already played these teams, Kate. They'll know a little bit more what to expect, because we are a bit of a sort of... Well, I know that teams, they've got so much analysis now. They'll know a little bit about us, but once they've played us once, they know what we're all about. So it might be a bit more difficult in the second half of the season for Town.
I think so. And what Kate says is true. It might not come around again. I mean, look at the league table now. 3 of the teams that were in the playoffs last year are not currently in the top 6. It's not to say they won't finish in the top 6 this season.
Good point there from Ian. Good point there from Ian as well, about the manager as well.
And then you evolve it onto conversations about, if you have a great season but just miss out, do you lose your manager? Do you lose this? And the whole landscape changes, but in a way it doesn't change. Obviously, if you get promoted, that changes through money. This changes through ambition and people wanting to be better and play at the highest and manage at the highest levels. And who could sort of begrudge them that? Wolfie and Clark played yesterday, 2 local boys, really feel the passion and that love. And Clark was whipping the crowd up before the game. And a lot of chat about Wolfie. Start with you, Kate. Some thought he didn't have his greatest game, or he's in a poor run of form. Some thought he played rather well. How did you see Luke Wolfenden's sort of performance yesterday?
Well, I'm the wrong person to ask, because we did a sweepstake yesterday for a bit of fun, and Wolfenden was my pick. So I thought I was really interested and invested in his performance. So I'm the wrong person, but yeah, I thought he'd have a big game, you know, local lad and everything. But yeah, I can't say too much about it because, you know, wasn't really there, and like, but you know, he was my pick. So
yeah, and I agree with you. And I think actually, Matt, he's a victim of the body language police, because his body language never looks anything but laid back sun lounger, 35-degree weather in Saint-Tropez. But that's Luke Wolfenden. He's cool. He's ice cold.
We've been down this road before with him, haven't we? In the tunnel at West Bromwich Albion. When he was waiting for a bus. He just sort of chilled out.
But people take that as a sign of, oh, he's slow, or the ball's not moving quick enough, or he's not moving fast enough. And actually, if you look at his performance over a course of 90 minutes and the season,
I think
he's been tremendous.
It's only because he keeps making way for Twanzabia that people have been sort of putting this question mark over him. But there's obviously a method there that McKenna is doing that rotation for whatever reason. Well, I mean, maybe we can find out at some point from the media. I thought he done well. I mean, arguably Harry Clark was the man of the match for me yesterday. I thought he was great. I mean, look, there was a question mark over him. Was he so emotionally invested? Look what he did at Fleetwood at the end of last season. Lunging on 2 tackles, gets a red, and off he goes. Would he do that same yesterday? I thought he had showed mature head. I thought he played well. You could see he was, you know, it was almost like him and Wolfie were almost like the supporters' representation on the pitch, given their local lads, and you know they bleed blue and white. I thought the whole team played good yesterday. You know, yeah, fair play to them.
couple of years ago, Rich, Ian sort of suggesting here, and he's right, that he had that Premier League standard, that Premier League eyes on him. Will he ever be a Premier League defender, do you feel, though?
Well, he might do in about 6 months' time. I think, I've said it before, with our fans, right, Harry Clark, 2 months ago, was a scapegoat. We bought in Brandon Williams and every thought, we got this shiny new Premier League player. Harry's not very good. He's making mistakes. Let's look. We spoke about it. He wasn't fit. He had that Achilles. He weren't training, and he's just playing the games. Now, he's fit now, and he's got that spring back, I think, Matt, that we spoke about probably a few weeks ago. I agree with you. He was my man in the match yesterday. I thought he was excellent. And now Wolfie, you've got Twanzebe, the Premier League player, and this is why people think, Wolfen's not playing well. Well, Wolfie's going to have to play in January because Burgess, who I think
he's out of it.
He's going to be a massive miss for this team. He doesn't miss a header. I know you don't rate him, Gov, but he's grown on me, and he's probably grown on Matt as well because Matt was putting him in the bin last season. Games at Oxford and Wickham, but he's the most improved player under McKenna for me. Defensively good, and also on the ball, Matt. He's a lot better. I think he's going to be a big miss over these. But sooner or later, Wolfie seems the one to step out of the team, and Axel comes back in, and I think Axel probably plays at Leeds.
But that could be rotation for freshness, knowing that Burgess is going to be missing a big part of the season.
But sooner or later, you're going to have to play Wolfenden and Axel together because they're probably going to have to play 6 games together in January.
I'm just thinking,
or do we try and get another left-sided centre-back in because both of them play on the right? Both of them play on the right.
You play Axel and Wolfie, you'll be purring the way you're purring about Hladky, man.
Who are you playing on the left? Who are you playing on the left? Because
they're both good enough to compensate for that.
I don't know.
Find a ball, find a wall, and start patching your left foot. That's your job.
It's like George Edmondson. He plays on the left, struggles when he plays out there because it's not his natural side.
I'm just thinking, Kate. You can be. So we've got the Asia Cup was what we're talking about. You can be our correspondent for that because we're going to have a long-going Burgess of Aussie with the Australians and Elkan Baggott of Indonesia.
Yeah, sign me up. I'm hoping Elkan's going to stop in Singapore and see us. I need to DM him or his girlfriend and get
him down the Penny Black in was it Boat Key?
Boat Key, yeah, good memory. Yeah.
Sounds good.
It's got to subscribe first.
It's got to subscribe. Yeah, make sure you subscribe.
Not allowed in. Otherwise.
For the record, I do like Burgess. He's a head it, kick it, defend it type of player. I watch him, I look at him, and as much as I love him, I don't sort of think, he can really play in the Premier League. Like, I don't see many of that type of defender in the top flight.
He's good enough at the minute in the Championship. And a lot of people, me included, didn't think he'd be good enough for the Championship. And there were certain people, when we got promoted, Kate, in 2000, there was people in that team who people said, they're not good enough for the Premier League. Mark Venus, Jermaine Wright, Jamie Clapham, people like that, good Championship players. And look what they've done in the Premier League.
Yeah. Again, they were that unknown. And that's why the magic.
That was back in your baby. That was back in your babysitting days, Kate.
That was Jermaine Wright. That was my former employer. What a legend.
Ben Moore
on the money, Ben. Yeah.
Axel played left side centre back for Man United youth level. Go on, Rich. You go and say it.
Who did he play? What position did he play for when he played for Napoli, Matt?
That one night in Napoli.
No idea. I'll have to look it up. I don't know.
The one appearance for Napoli. You've got about that night.
You've got to think that they can play on the left side, even if you are right third. Come on, you've got. He's captain Man United for crying out loud. Turns out, I'm sure he can play left side if needs be.
You're running, absolutely. Curtis Tilt says Bury St Edmunds blue.
He was linked back in the day, wasn't he?
He was linked, yeah.
Well, he was
was it a race? Yeah, was it a race between him and Toto and Ciala? As the one we signed. And we signed Toto.
Kate was on here lots of times when we talked about Toto. Do you remember that?
A lot. That's a name.
Lovely fellow. Disaster in our defence. Yeah.
Has he?
I think he's just been released from
Fleetwood.
Where he was at.
Fleetwood.
I might have got that wrong. Anyone seen John Nolan?
Kate was here back in the days of John Nolan and Drinnan and Hawkins and all them players. Look at the players we got now, Kate, in our team.
I know. Dreamland. Can't believe it. Honestly, it was pretty bad back then, wasn't it?
Yes.
Dreadful.
Yeah, I think bad is being a bit tame.
I'm being polite.
Yeah. Ian says all of our players have improved thanks to McKenna. Alex is quality, proper footballer. Fingers crossed Burgess doesn't get injured. Baggett I like. Fridge will go. a fridge out.
I
in the
remember
cold.
Kate saying it. It was because the manager was always called Paul.
Oh,
Yeah, it wasn't a good run for us, was it?
we had
The
to get rid
Pauls.
of that curse. Thank
The Pauls era.
God.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Hit the like button, people. As Ipswich Jules in the chat keeps saying, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're brand new here.
Have you got the green screen of Paul Lambert for Kate, just for old time's sake?
Oh,
Can you find it? Can you find it for me?
Oh, I've got it. Yeah, there he is.
Oh, there he is.
And I've changed a lot as well. To be fair,
You have.
Played for some big clubs apparently. That guy.
Yeah, big games.
But he's
Big
never
games.
been on a big podcast. Paul, what are you doing? Come on, don't be talking to the paper. Give
Oh,
me
I
a
should
call.
get him
Come
on.
Absolutely.
Send an
Oh, and
idea.
he's just been
What?
seeing the Pope, Gov.
Well, yeah, I'll let him off on that one then. To be fair, that is quite a big
Can't
thing
get
to
bigger
do.
than that.
No,
I was when we first came on, I was thinking maybe Kate's Christmas scene was going to be a green screen, but I can see the fan moving.
Yes.
over your shoulder.
Yeah, it's so hot. It's weird. I'm having a hot Christmas. It's weird.
Yeah, hot
Beautiful.
Christmas. Yeah.
Beautiful. Right, we've got Phil joining us. Phil, you're one and only guest this afternoon. So, Phil,
Hello, Phil.
like royalty, because I know you went well yesterday. I know you won't have more comments, but you thought on it, you slept on it. How are you feeling today? 24 hours, etc., removed from the derby.
I'll tell you what, when I got back home watching the final score on BBC One in the afternoon, when that Leeds result came, I thought, yes, come on. But no, seriously, I left the ground. Yeah, I left the ground feeling, crap, we've really lost this game, haven't we? We've been hyping out for weeks. You know, if we played Scum like, a month or so ago, we would have comfortably beaten them. Norwich 3-0. Like, it just so happens that the last kind of 5-6 games they've picked up in form, and they did play well yesterday. You got to give them some credit begrudgingly, but how many chances do they have on our goals? It 1.5, 2.5?
1.5, Phil. 1.5.
Yeah, Martin's favourite stat, Phil, the XG was 0.81 or something. Now it's 2.07. So there you go.
You scored 2 goals. How's that work? You scored 2 goals. How's that work?
But no. On a more serious note, I agree with what Rich was saying earlier. That sooner or later, we can't keep on conceding 2 goals a game, and for it to not bite us in the arse. And yesterday it did. Unfortunately, it was just sod's law that it just happened to be, against our closest, meanest, rivals. And I came away from the ground feeling, let's see what happens with Leeds and Leicester, and thankfully Leeds didn't really do much against Coventry.
How do you feel today, Phil? Because I know, like I said earlier, when you come out of the ground,
it still hurts. It still hurts.
Flat.
Yeah, it still hurts. I'm, the gut feeling I've got at the moment, I'm thinking, look, yesterday I was really looking forward to us going top for a couple of days. Come 3:00 yesterday afternoon, I really thought we were going to sit top again, and I've been listening and watching to the Rest of Football podcast with Gary Lineker, Michael Richards, and Alan Shearer, and now and again, Gary gloats about the fact that how well Leicester are doing, and it just, I just think it was a missed opportunity for us yesterday. I would say going back a few weeks, Gov, when you were asking us fans, our predictions for like the 6 or 7 games in December, what do you think would happen? I predicted we'd beat West Brom, right? And I predicted we'd only pick a point up against Middlesbrough. I think so far it's been pretty good. 13 points from the last 15. That's
pretty good. That's outstanding.
That's excellent. It's an excellent run. And, we just now need to go up to Leeds and, come Boxing Day, just try not to lose both games. I'm sure we won't. We've not lost back-to-back games this season, and I don't think we will. I can't see it happening.
And if we do, they'll respond at QPR and Stoke and beyond. This is what this group does. It runs towards adversity and it responds. That wasn't a paid plug by the football club, by the way. That was I just thought I'd get it in. But I wasn't upset. I was upset. I wasn't hurt, Rich, yesterday. I was frustratingly angry that we let them off the hook.
It was an entertainingly frustrating afternoon.
The only thing that disappointed me, Phil, was after the second goal when we equalised. I think if you'd done a straw poll then on a lot of people in that stadium, they would have said on the games this season, Town to go on and win that game, because we've seen it a lot of times. But it was, I think you do have to credit the opposition. I know, begrudgingly, but Norwich did did shut up shop. They didn't give us a lot of space. They went one up front, and
Nick
it
McCarthy
worked for them. And
Nick
but it
McCarthy
worked. It worked for them, and we didn't create that one big opportunity. There was the chance that Broadhead had, Phil, when Gunn saved it, and it's a bit unlucky for Amari because it just runs away from him. Otherwise, there's a tap in, and it's just the roll of the ball. And this is what I'm saying. Over the game, if you look at that game, Norwich, they had a little bit more luck than we did.
Bit more, Jesus. I want to talk about two things, right? I noticed before I think it was Norwich's first goal, right? When the referee yesterday, I thought had a very good game. I thought he was a bit too lenient at times, but I'm not complaining about it. I thought he had a good game.
Why is it a good game then? If he's a bit too lenient at times, that's a bit of a contradiction of terms, isn't it? Like he's either a good game or he's a bit lenient at times. Which one is it?
Look, I'm going to say it's common.
But we all
sense.
want to see the game flow, don't we, Phil?
No, I don't.
We do. Look.
Blow the whistle, man. Kicking George Hurst, blow the whistle. Kicking Wes Burns, blow the whistle. Kicking any boys in blue, blow the whistle. They're the rules. I don't make them. They just are. All right?
Having been a referee for 8 years myself, yes, absolutely bang on. Keep the game flowing. We don't want interruptions or stoppages. Just see the game out. And he had a good game yesterday. But for me, the build-up to Norwich's first goal, I'm pretty certain when I'm saying the referee, I think he played advantage.
Wes got taken out.
Yeah,
and then
Hurst got taken out. There was two.
I watched it back this morning. Is that a foul on Hurst? I don't think it is. It's a foul on Burns, and he's played advantage.
Not a foul. Oh my God.
No, I don't think it is. Hurst knows what he's doing. Gunn thinks that George Hurst is untouchable, and no one's allowed to go near him, Kate, and no one's allowed to foul him. He gives as much. He gives as much as he's getting from them defenders. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, he's a bit of a tree trunk. I would say, was he 6'6", 3'6", Yeah.
That don't mean nothing. That mean you can't protect the player. Oh right, so he's like Andre the Giant. So just kick lumps out of him. Not a problem. He'll be all right.
And also, I'm very pleased to report that I didn't see the second goal because I was on the toilet.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks for the bowel. That was your bowel movement forecast by Phil Blunder.
That was my one more thing. Can I just say very quickly? My one more thing, right, is Kate, you're wearing an Alice band. Is that right?
Say that.
Are you wearing an Alice band?
Yeah, I am.
Is that a religious thing? Because I rarely see that nowadays with Suffolk folk.
I know there's one thing, Phil. You won't be wearing one.
It's a hair thing, Phil. It's a hair thing,
Phil. Yeah, Phil. Lovely. Right, Phil, thanks ever so much for popping on. All the best. Phil might not. One more things go. That was the random thing I've probably ever heard.
What, the toilet or the Alice band?
It went. Look, let's just agree to it went wrong from the toilet sentence. It just didn't get better from there, did it?
It went down the pan.
It literally went down the pan.
more dad gags. Yeah.
Hey, Kate, we never change on it.
No, it's wonderful.
No, Phil might have missed the second goal, Kate, but obviously us three didn't. And that second half, before we close, a bit of a funny start, wasn't it? Because Town never really got out of the dressing room until they scored. We were a bit flat. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, a bit flat.
Yeah,
you don't think so? I don't know. It's just we lacked something yesterday, right? And that's what came across in the final result, and that's why all of us sort of feel a bit of like mourning today, like it's a loss. Even though, like I don't know, obviously results around us, worked out, and maybe Leicester will get a draw or whatever. So, if
you look at that halftime, Matt and Rich, to Watford's halftime, that was very much a very similar feel because Tuesday night Watford were out first. We were waiting. And the Sky commentator said, Ipswich are keeping Watford waiting here. And then yesterday, Norwich did what we did to Watford. They kept us waiting for a sustained period of time. And it's just, I'm not saying that's the factor, but we were so slow, so sloppy, so still having our cup of tea and asleep that it was almost like not Kieran McKenna's Ipswich Town like in that first 5-10 to start the second half. Am I right?
I don't know. Do you think it's adrenaline rich? Maybe. I mean, when the half ends, I always love the fact Chaplin runs and other players run down the tunnel. They're not strolling off.
That's like the old days. That's like the old days when players used to run off, isn't it?
They're literally sprinting down the tunnel. So I suppose you've got the 15-minute break. You're regrouped. Adrenaline goes off a little bit. You've got to go back into the second half. It takes a while for maybe the crowd to warm up again after the 15 minutes. Don't know. But I mean, it was interesting to me that McKenna said that as the second half progressed, we actually didn't create the amount of chances that we would normally do. Didn't help, of course, that they score right through that melee of players and go 2-1 up. So that didn't really help our cause either, and it allowed Norwich to sit in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of little things we've needed to address over the last few weeks, isn't there? The constant going one down, Kate. We went 6 or 7 games where we conceded the first goal. We've addressed that. Now probably we're looking at how we start the second half, because I mean, traditionally we're pretty good in the second half, and certainly in League One. I mean, we were shooting towards the Bobby Robson stand, we're scoring hatfuls, weren't we?
Yeah. And one thing that's sort of changed, I feel like, under McKenna is like we don't give up. And there used to be a time when like there'd be like a burst of like 20 minutes and like really intense, and Town were really good, and then say they didn't score in that 20 minutes, then it'd be like the rest of the game wasted. But it's not like that at all these days. It's amazing.
But we have done that, Gov. Yeah. We have been slow. I think the Blackburn home game, we let them back in the game. The Birmingham away game, we started slow second half. West Brom. So it's a little bit of a theme for me. It took them about, even after they scored, it was still about a 3 or 4 minute period when Norwich were on top, and then we sort of seemed to shake out of our sort of a little bit of a malaise, and then we sort of got the foot back in the game. The crowd got sort of, because I think the crowd went a little bit flat there when Norwich went 2-1 up. It was a little bit. Well, look, a lot of people probably missed that goal, Matt, because they're still coming back from half time.
Phil certainly did.
Yeah, and you're thinking, oh, here we go again. But we've got the resilience in this team to come back from a goal down, 2 goals down, and it doesn't worry me now like it did in previous seasons under previous managers. When Town go a goal down, or 2 goals down, you think, right, that's it, game over. There was only really the West Brom game this season when second half we went 2-0 down and we didn't look like we were going to come back. But we come back, and then it was a good goal. It was, if you look at the second goal, Gov, we've done well there because we've nicked the ball high up the pitch off, I think it's Barnes.
Good finish.
It's quickly switched it to Wes, and that's a really good goal. You know, he's used that defender there, Matt, as a sort of a screen for the goalkeeper, because he can't set himself. He did it through his legs. It's in the net, and then I thought that went in. I expected us to go on then and win that game.
I thought as well. I thought maybe 4-2. Mike Wood said 4-2. That was his prediction. I thought it was going to come along, but never mind.
Absolutely. Before we come for the last question of the day, don't forget we are also partnered with Match Bingo. So if you should want to support a good cause while trying to win cash prizes, Match Bingo is for you. Are you a sports enthusiast who loves football and cricket and wants to support life-saving work while having fun and winning cash prizes? This raises funds for the East Anglian Air Ambulance. Look no further than Match Bingo and the ultimate interactive game. There's a couple of bingo cards. There's one for today, Liverpool Man United, one for tomorrow, Brighton and Leicester, and one for Thursday currently, Crystal Palace versus Brighton. I have played it. I have won some money on it. Be gamble aware, over 18s only. And of course, you are helping to support the great work of the East Anglian Air Ambulance while also having fun. So there we go. That is that. I will be getting my Match Bingo cards today, £2, and I'll be watching Liverpool Man United with great enthusiasm. He says, I probably won't be watching it with great enthusiasm, just be watching it hopefully praying for like one on Friday night was like, I need a goal in the 33rd minute, and there was a shot on like the 31st. I was like, no, don't you dare score now, because that would be completely nonsense. But it is good fun. I do enjoy it.
How does it work for the cricket? How does it work for the cricket then, Gov?
I don't know. I'm not a cricket fan, Rich, so I've not even tried.
Well, I'm just asking you. You should know all these.
If you log in, if you click the link, log in, £2 a card, you can find that and you can report back. Job done. There we go. Be our scout on the
one yesterday, Matt. One last night.
Harry Brook.
Very good.
Yeah. A phrase I keep hearing, and I'm not quite sure how they go about it, is defending balls into our box. We've got to be better defending balls into our box. How do you go about remedying that, whether it's a transfer or whether it's a tactical switch or whether it's something? Because it is a phrase McKenna likes to keep using. And he's right. We do have to be better defending balls into our box.
Do you have to be more aggressive? Do you have to be more aggressive attacking them balls when they drop down? Like the second goal, it's just a long throw, isn't it? And it's sort of Hurst and I don't know who the player is, they're sort of jostling and it just drops down. But if I look at that goal, you've got them amount of players in front of a lad key. 9 times out of 10, Matt, that probably hits somebody, and it
does. Yeah.
Just gets blocked. And it's just that that one time he hits it, and this is where I go back to Norwich had a little bit of rubber to green. But then if you don't shoot, you're not going to score. So credit to Rowe.
It's stopping balls into the box is a bit of a cliche, isn't it? Because it could actually mean anything. I mean, you want to stop the ball from going in your box, probably higher up the pitch, I think. You know, stopping crosses, blocking crosses, stopping players getting into those positions because they're only going to score in and around the box anyway. But I find that to be a bit of a cliche, really. And there's nothing fans can do about that. That's something from McKenna, the players and his coaching staff.
Well, you see, I think, Kate, that actually, we all love Leif Davis. He's our best player. He's the king of assists in the Championship. Going to play for a top 4 team one day and have a fantastic career playing for England. But I have to say, and maybe you agree or disagree, while you have Leif Davis playing for you, you are always going to concede goals because his strength is allowing him the freedom of the left-hand side. His strength is allowing him to go and get involved as a left winger. And that inevitably leaves holes in behind in other areas of the pitch, right?
Yes. So I know our goalkeeper has got flack tonight, but, you know, he's having to kind of work really hard to combat that. I don't know. If we get a signing in January, maybe there's a player there that can, fill the gaps a bit. But yeah, he's an exciting player. He's great to watch.
Kate could be right there. You know, a signing sort of a left-sided centre-half was, I'm not saying Burgess is slow, but with a bit more mobility.
Is this why we can see so many goals at home? Because away from home, like I've said,
Tighter,
if you look at Town on the road, Davis does get forward, but he doesn't get forward anywhere near as much. Look, he's got that license when we're at Portman Road. He's playing as a left winger half the time. Go up that side of the pitch.
And I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it for the world.
So do we have to just? We just have to accept that? Look, we're probably going to concede some goals at home, and we're just going to have to score more goals than the opposition. And not all the time, Matt. Not all the time we're going to score 3 goals, and maybe we just have to say, like, look, it was a 2-2 draw, entertaining game. That's probably one of the best. I know we didn't win the game, but entertaining games for
it was good.
For a neutral. If you were watching that as a neutral, you're probably going to enjoy that because local derbies sometimes they're not great games, are they? They're just sort of cancel themselves out. The emotion takes over.
Try not to lose.
I thought it was a really good game yesterday, and I know we didn't win, and I know we all want to win, but we shouldn't be too flat today. I don't think.
No, I agree with that. You're right, Rich, because that's reflected in the 2 games that we did, the Borough and Watford games, Martin, where we said didn't see much of Leif, particularly, in an attacking sense. And I think you're right; he's got the license of Portman Road, and I agree with what Kate's saying in terms of an experienced head maybe coming in and helping that defence. I actually think that person's already in the building. I think it's Twanzebe. I think he's already there.
Could be a simple case of a more mobility central midfielder who can work across the pitch with a bit more. Because Morsi and Luongo, great players, good partnership. But one word you wouldn't say about them is pace. You wouldn't say, they've got pace that can cover from side to side.
You've got to defend. As I said earlier, you've got to defend as a team, I think, and that starts from the very, very top. Everyone's got a responsibility for not allowing the balls into the box, I think.
By the way, George Hurst, don't defend like that again from a throw-in. At least try and look at the ball when it's coming in.
I think he's more worried about getting his hands all over.
Yeah,
we were a little bit like that. Chris
very
Sutton
lucky,
actually said that in the first half there when there was 2 or 3 corners that Norwich had. And a lot of times, and he's right, some of our players are more interested in grappling with the... I don't think it's just Town. I think this is a lot of defenders nowadays, Matt. They're more concerned about grappling with somebody than where the bloody ball is.
Yeah, you saw that.
Because how many times do you see a referee before the corner, Gov? Every time he goes up and says, has a word with someone. But how many times do you see him actually give a penalty, apart from when we're playing Reading away, Gov?
There you go. Town are the only team that have had that against us.
But it never happens.
It never does. But just next time, look at the ball at least once is what I ask of George Hurst. At least know where it is. Like, because he didn't know, he didn't even know the bloke was going to be challenging for the ball. He didn't know anything. And as Chris Sutton said, he's very lucky the referee doesn't deem that as what it is, which is a foul. But there we go. Chris Sutton's like a broken clock, right at least twice in a year. And that was obviously one of them. Anything else before we go? Kate, anything else you wanna talk about, mention, promote? Anything?
Hopefully, I don't know, 4 to 6 points over the Christmas period would be wonderful. I think we'll get it.
Sounds good. I love that confidence. Yeah, I love that confidence. Be confident. And you'll be having your meet-up, right, on the Leeds game?
Yes. Yep. So meeting at 8, kick-off 8:30. Boat Key, Penny Black Pub. Yeah, please join us. And
beers on, Kate. Yeah, you get the first round in.
Get the first round in.
No, I did buy the gentleman who got the first goal scorer. It was for fun and the sweepstake, but I did buy him a pint. $16.
Blimey.
That's not cheap.
I ain't nipping over.
They won't use on the lemonades.
No, what? No, not even the lemonades. I was on the fizzy water.
Right. $16.
One last thing from either of you two.
I'd like to ask Kate. Look, obviously you've interviewed a lot of managers.
Yes.
How would you like to interview Kieran McKenna?
Oh, that'd be a dream come true, wouldn't it?
Fantastic, isn't he?
Honestly, like I said this the other day on Radio Suffolk. I was on Conor Bennett's show. Like, I'm so envious of the press pack, like of last season and this season. And to think that was my job doing Ipswich Norwich like every other week. Like, I am so envious. And like, I don't know, just the press team at Ipswich these days, like they've got my dream job, and like, I don't know, the Town TV presenting gig. Oh God, like, why am I here and not there? Anyway, where the universe works in strange ways. But yeah, I'm so envious. And I really hope they're soaking it all up, because I'd do anything to be in that position.
I can see you hosting that show, though.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
I think
that'd be a dream come true. So yeah,
it's only a short flight back, isn't it? It's not like, you know, it's not. You know.
Just did it last
week. It's probably quicker than the A40 on the Orwell Bridge, Kate. To be fair, like you still probably make it back.
Well, no, because I was stuck in Ipswich during that day, so I had to wait 45 minutes in the freezing cold for the bus. So
was that the day, Kate, when the A14 they were supposed to finish it about 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, and we'll just close it all day. There you go.
No, something didn't the recovery vehicle got stuck on the A14?
That was it.
The hydraulic arm got broke. Yeah.
Yeah, all the buses were a mess in town, so that was a nightmare. So yeah, it's a 14-hour flight back. I survived it last week with a 3-year-old. So
yeah, never easy.
Congrats for that. Yeah.
Anything from you, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. Don't be downbeat. We're in a promotion race. We're in a title race. Don't be worrying about drawing with a team that's mid-table, 21 points behind us. The big games are coming up. Leeds and Leicester. Norwich would love to be in that position. They ain't going to be in that position this season. We're in the position. The blue and white army. East Anglia's blue and white, as Nick Muller would say. So these are the two games that are coming up. These are the ones that really matter. And we like Kate says, you get 4-6 points out of them. We are smoking. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great show. Kate, thank you again for jumping in. Rich and Matt.
Thank you.
Go on. No, thank you. It's been a real pleasure. Hopefully you'll come back to us again soon.
Well, I hope so. If you have me, yeah.
Absolutely. It's always good to have an award-winning journalist on the show. Gives a bit of credibility that we never had.
Yeah, we need that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Because these two normally diminish it. But these two have been absolutely wonderful as well. Hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll catch you through the week. And as Matt says, don't be too downbeat. It's only a mid-table team, and it's only a bump in the road. Watch, like, subscribe, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Crazy from just the thought of you. A long blonde hair